When a narcissist meets their undefeatable enemy, these are signs that they're worsening as they age. Everyone. If you're frequently around people who try to control you, then you're probably well aware of the hazy boundaries that come along with it. To help with that, I've created a free course I call Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. You can find the link to it down in the description box. But today, let's talk about something else. How can we tell if a narcissist is really going downhill as they get older? But wait, before we dive into that, let's put things into perspective for a moment. Let's go back to when we were young adults and teenagers. Can you honestly say that you never made any mistakes and that you had a high degree of sensitivity and good behavior? Probably not. The fact is, our brains don't fully develop until we hit around 25 years old. That's why we don't diagnose teenagers as narcissists, even though they can show a little bit of selfishness and controlling behavior. They simply haven't matured yet. But as people age, we expect and hope that they'll exhibit positive traits like empathy, kindness, dignity, and honor. That's not usually the case with narcissists, though. Not only do they fail to mature, but as they get older, they'll double down on all of the things that make narcissism so scary. Things like controlling behavior, selfishness, thinking they're entitled to everything, being insensitive, getting defensive quickly, and even creating an entirely new reality where they're the only good person. So, let's see those 7 red flags that might indicate that someone's narcissism is getting worse. Number 1. Narcissists give up love and pursue power instead. It's truly heartbreaking to see how people with narcissistic tendencies can start off giving you the impression that they really care for you in any kind of relationship, even in business. In the beginning, you might think they're really invested in building love connections with you, but as they age, something changes. They start to crave power over love, and their behavior shifts into authoritarian, overbearing, and pushy territory. It's like they start to believe they own the people around them, and their mounting self-importance erodes any genuine love they might have had earlier. And sure, maybe they feel like they've earned the right to act this way, but the reality is this: it's not good. It's not healthy, and it's not love anymore. We all deserve better than that. Number 2. Narcissists never learn from past experiences, or lack thereof. Oh, don't you just hate it when someone looks back on their broken relationships and can't take any ownership of their part in it? Instead of doing some deep reflection and asking, okay, what does this mean about me, and how can I grow from it? They just spin it as being the victim, like, oh, they just didn't understand me. They were the problem. And the cherry on top. They're black and white thinking. They're always right, and you're always wrong. It's like, come on, how rigid can you be? They refuse to engage in any real introspection or analytical thinking, which is a flashing warning sign that they're not learning anything from their experiences. And let's be real, a person who can't learn from their experiences isn't someone you want to be stuck with as they get older. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Number 3. Narcissists refuse to own up to their darker side. We all have our own inner demons, you know. The parts of ourselves that we're not always proud of. The mistakes, the regrets, the pain, the struggle. But narcissists, oh boy, they just can't seem to face that stuff head on. Even if they have some real deep-seated issues that are turning them into these bitter, emotionally volatile people, they just refuse to take a look in that particular mirror. Honestly, it's kinda sad. They're just letting all that stuff fester in their shadows, and it's like a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off. Instead of owning their pain and trying to understand it, they just ignore it and keep on keeping on, causing all sorts of problems for themselves and the people around them. Meanwhile, the rest of us are out here trying to heal and grow and be better people. It's like, come on, we all need to deal with our crap. Number 4. Narcissists refuse to show any weakness, so they act like they're better than everyone else. Have you ever met someone who's just so obsessed with how they look to others? They've got this image in their head of what they're supposed to be, and they'll do anything to make sure they come off as perfect or superior. It's like they're incapable of admitting that they're just as human and fallible as the rest of us. To make up for it, they start acting like they're better than everyone else, like they're a cut above, and the rest of us are just, well, beneath them. And the worst part? They actually believe it. Like it's not just some act they're putting on. They genuinely see themselves as superior to others. It's pretty sad, really. They're so caught up in this delusion that they've lost touch with reality. Like, buddy, we're all in the same boat here. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. But instead of admitting that, they'll just keep on propping themselves up at the expense of others. It's like they're so insecure about their own humanity that they can't even bring themselves to acknowledge it. Number 5. Narcissists love having a posse of sycophants to do their bidding. Have you ever noticed how some people just need to have a bunch of yes men around them? Like, they can't handle anyone who has their own ideas or might challenge them in any way. That's a sure sign of a narcissist. They'll find these people who they think they can bully or manipulate into doing whatever they want, and they'll just collect them. Like it's some kind of hobby. And here's the thing. They're not interested in anyone who doesn't fit into their little mold. They don't want people who think differently or bring new perspectives to the table. Nah, they just want people who are gonna do what they're told and stroke their egos. It's like they're allergic to diversity or something. They're so busy trying to control everyone around them that they don't even realize how much they're limiting themselves. Like, don't they want to learn and grow and expand their horizons? Apparently not. They just want to be the boss of a bunch of lackeys. Number 6. Narcissists can't handle real relationships, so they just pile up excuses. They'll go through friendships or romantic partners like tissues, and they always have some excuse or justification for why things never work out. That's a hallmark of a narcissist. See, here's the thing. They can't handle the idea that they might be the problem. So if a relationship ends, they'll twist themselves into pretzels to come up with some way to blame the other person. Like, oh, they were just too weak to handle me, or I don't have time for someone who's so insecure. The saddest part is that they're not even being honest with themselves. They know deep down that they're the ones causing all the problems. But instead of facing that, they'll just keep on lying to themselves and pushing people away. And the more they do it, the more they convince themselves that they're always the victim in these situations. Number 7. Narcissists love putting others on the defensive to make themselves look good. No matter what you say, they always find a way to turn it around and make you look bad. Yeah, that's a classic narcissist move. See, they figured out that if they can keep you on the defensive, they'll always come out on top. They'll throw out accusations left and right, shame you, guilt trip you, and make you feel like you're the problem. And they don't even bother to consider the fact that maybe they're not perfect either. Remember, they don't really connect with your humanity. So you end up scrambling to defend yourself, trying to justify your actions, all while they sit back and bask in the glow of their own supposed superiority. And the worst part is, they're so good at this game that they actually start to believe their own lies. They think that just because they can make you feel defensive, that means they must be the right ones. So, have you ever come across someone who just never seems to grow up, no matter how old they get? It's like they're so wrapped up in their own little world that they can't see beyond their own nose. And the sad part is, as they get older, they just get worse and worse. It's like they take all the things that make them a narcissist and they turn the dial up to 11. And even worse, they refuse to take any responsibility for their actions, always pointing the finger at someone else. It's almost like they turn into a cartoon character of themselves, only instead of being funny, they're just plain mean. And as you get older yourself, you might come across more and more of these people, especially as they enter their golden years. But here's the thing, you can't be their savior. You can't be the one who magically makes them grow up and see the error of their ways. It has to come from within. Sure, you can talk to them about what you've noticed and how it affects you, but don't be fooled into thinking that you have any real power over them. And don't let them try to turn it around on you either. If they start saying things like, "It's your fault if you don't like me," don't buy into it. You know the truth, and you know that true maturity comes from taking responsibility for your actions and making changes from within. So just focus on yourself and let them figure it out on their own. These people are stuck in this fake, made-up version of themselves, and they can't seem to find their way back to reality. And the sad part is, no matter how hard you try, they're never going to be able to make a deep, meaningful connection with you. And that's why it's so important to focus on your own growth and development, rather than trying to change someone who doesn't even want to change. At the end of the day, you're the only one who can control your own destiny. You have the power to decide whether you're going to stay stuck in the past or move forward towards a brighter, more peaceful future. And if you ever feel like you need some extra support or guidance, there's no shame in seeking out therapy. It can be a great way to get help with the challenges you're facing and to learn new tools and techniques for personal growth and development. And remember, while narcissists may never change, you have the power to grow and progress every single day. So let's make today the day that we take one step closer to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Until next time, let the healing begin.
So, have you ever wondered how to spot a narcissist and if they can change as they age? As human beings, we all make mistakes and have moments of selfishness, especially during our teenage and young adult years when our brain is still developing. However, as we grow older, we expect and hope to exhibit positive traits such as empathy, kindness, dignity, and honor. Unfortunately, that's not always the case for narcissists. They not only fail to mature, but they also double down on all the things that make narcissism so daunting. So, how can you tell if a narcissist is going downhill as they get older? Let's take a closer look again at the 7 red flags that might indicate that their narcissism is getting worse. First, one key warning sign is that narcissists give up love and pursue power instead. They crave power over love, and their behavior shifts into authoritarian, overbearing, and pushy territory. It's like they start to believe they own the people around them, and their mounting self-importance erodes any genuine love they might have had earlier. Second, they never learn from past experiences or lack thereof. Narcissists refuse to engage in any real introspection or analytical thinking, which is a flashing warning sign that they are not learning anything from their experiences. Third, narcissists refuse to own up to their darker side. They just cannot seem to face their own inner demons head-on. Even if they have some real deep-seated issues turning them into this bitter, emotionally volatile people, they just refuse to take a look in that particular mirror. Fourth, narcissists refuse to show any weakness, so they act like they are better than anyone else. They are so obsessed with how they look to others and believe they are superior to others that they lose touch with reality. Fifth, narcissists love having a plethora of psychopaths to do their bidding. They find people they think they can manipulate into doing whatever they want, and they are not interested in anyone who doesn't fit into their little mold. Sixth, narcissists can't handle real relationships, so they just pile up the excuses. They're always making up reasons why things didn't work out and blaming the other person. And lastly, narcissists love putting others on the defensive to make themselves look good. They will throw out accusations, shame and guilt trip you, making you feel defensive just so they can come out on top and bask in the glow of their own supposed superiority. As they age, narcissists just become worse and more cartoonish, turning up the dial on their negative traits. They refuse to take responsibility for their actions and always point the finger at someone else. However, don't be fooled into thinking that you have any power over them, as true maturity comes from taking responsibility for your actions and making changes from within. So, in summary, we all have the power to control our own destiny and move towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Therapy can be a great way to get help with the challenges we are facing and learn new tools and techniques for personal growth and development. Remember, while narcissists may never change, we have the power to grow and progress every single day. So let's take the first step towards healing and a brighter future today. Please check the link in the description box below if you are interested to learn more about this. I hope you find this video informative. Please don't hesitate to write your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. And until next time, have a nice day, everyone.